Everyone, Maximus World, welcome to the video. Today I'm going to be reacting to Commando Britain's Ocean Warriors episode number 3.
Future Commando Forces, a response to a changing threat. We're turning into the commando force of the 21st century.
There we go. So what it looks like we're going to be seeing here is how things are improving in terms of technology, skills and the Royal Marines role, as it were. It'll be interesting for me to see now actually, because obviously I served quite a long time ago, 2009 I left. So things will have changed a little bit. This will be interesting. I'm sure some things will stay the same, but this episode here seems to be all about what's to come. Let's see if it's any good.
We will actually have men and women forward deployed in areas of strategic interest for the UK. It's going to be more high readiness because in the future we will have more people deployed more of the time.
The fact that 70% of the world's population lives within 100 kilometres of the sea demonstrates that you need people who can operate both in the maritime and in the land environment seamlessly.
So Royal Marines are very good at operating land and sea, hence the name, or hence the motto, per mare per terram, by sea, by land, if you didn't know that.
What that means is that in a modern 360 battlefield, we have a force that we can employ with confidence. We can spread it out and deliver.
And if you don't change, then you could become irrelevant.
Warfare has evolved, and to keep up with modern day, if other nations are evolving, we need to evolve with them. And this is the best step forward.
Okay, so this is going to start with Charlie Company moving down to HLS Alda. They should already be in the position as we brief you, and wheels down at 21:50. Check, is that the new timing? Over.
Deep in the Welsh countryside, 40 commando units are trying out a state-of-the-art communications system.
One of the predominant changes would be you're more self-sufficient, and rather than the older style of soldiering, of going out on the ground and staying out, we'd strike ops of in, out, light, getting the job done.
Charlie Company, we receive that their combat effectiveness is at 100%. I advise go.
40 Commando are one of 2 units involved in Future Commando Force, trialling new kit and ways of working, building the template for the commandos of the 21st century.
Sounds like they're trying to change things. They're calling it the Future Commando Force. What's your thoughts on that title? I mean, at what point does it stop being a Future Commando Force? I mean, at what point in the future will that be? So that'll be interesting to see. Yeah, what I talk about here, I think is great. I think it's what, we certainly talked about it back in 2008. I remember we were talking about it. So it looks like they're actually doing it now, where they're talking about, rather than just sending guys out for a prolonged period of times in the field and getting bogged down with doing typical soldiering stuff, it would be small man teams who would in and out, maybe by helicopter or some kind of other insertion method, straight in, do whatever job it is they need to do, and then get out of there, like commando raid.
Front at the moment with Future Commando Force, getting most of the trials kit in first.
So 1909 in 5, 4, 3, 2, 1.
It's the signaler's job to provide voice and data communications down and up, so down to the lads on the ground and back to the relevant HQ.
In a response to modern-day threats, commandos are doing away with large deployments in favour of small teams, using new tech to confuse and disrupt the enemy.
So this goes from the team level radio on the ground, which the strike teams are using. This gets then pushed up through our forward decks to the cloud, which then it can be accessed by ourselves or any other location. This gives us live tracking, everything from data through to videos, pictures. It just enhances the battlefield awareness massively.
So it sounds like they're getting stuck in with the technology, and I think it needs to happen. Like, you look at emergency services, you go into their control rooms and you'll see that all the police officers and fire emergency service personnel, they're all on this kind of system where you can see where they are, you can watch them in real time, and you can, you haven't got really the video feed. That's quite a new thing. That'd be interesting to see how how good that is, and whether the technology's there yet for that to operate. They're going to know where they are because they're going to have some kind of GPS on them, which goes straight back to HQ. So yeah, it definitely looks quite good in terms of this technology, and I think military have always traditionally been a bit behind on things, and bog standard units. I'm sure special forces have been up there the whole time. But I think as long as the soldiers still need to know what to do is if this system goes down, if they run out of batteries, or if there's some kind of the enemy might find a way to counter this with electromagnetic weaponry, for example. So I'm hoping that soldiers are still able to soldier like the old days, have some kind of knowledge of how to do it, because you don't want to be in a situation where you're lots of reliant on technology.
And then getting back to work, knowing that I'm not going to see them now for a good 5 days, or maybe longer, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 6 weeks if we go on that exercise.
When you join the military, it's kind of something you've got to really expect, really, is that you're going to be leaving your family. And he's saying 5 days or 6 weeks. It's sometimes it's longer than that, and that's this type of job. Like, I spent a lot of time deployed when I was in the Marines. I was away all the time. You get a drop of a hat, something 24 hours, 48 notice. You get a phone call. Look, you're going off somewhere for you don't know how long. Sometimes you weren't even told how long you're going away for. I guess some people struggle with that. This chap here, he seems like a nice guy, but he does seem to be struggling with that aspect of it. Go with this type of job, military, working at sea, working away, working on oil rigs, things like that. You've got to expect that you are going to be away for a certain amount of time, and it's difficult for other people to understand that as well. Sometimes they can't comprehend that, oh look, this person's not going to be away, this person's not even going to be contactable. I've been on deployments where I've not been able to be contactable. I've not a phone signal. I mean, phones didn't really even work back when I was getting deployed anyway. Well, my phone didn't work anyway. We'd write each other letters, but sometimes even then you couldn't even write letters. Sometimes you couldn't even have internet access. So it's something that needs to be considered. If people are looking to join the military, it's something that's really got to be considered. It does, it can put a strain on people's lives. Some people, they absolutely love it, so it depends on the individual.
It's definitely a well-earned getting back to the family, and just knowing that this is why I do it. This is why I've put myself through the commando course, and to feel proud and give it all to her, really. The hardest bit is leaving them on that Sunday night or Monday morning, and seeing them asleep and giving them a kiss goodbye, and then getting back to work, knowing that I'm not going to see them now for a good 5 days, or maybe longer, maybe 2 weeks, maybe 6 weeks if we go on that exercise.
For me to be able to rent that for £25 a day and take my family on an experience that I would never be able to afford, it's really helped me out.
Oh, well, we'll have to wait for the tide to come, Amelia.
Ours is a high, intense environment. If you can help people manage their mental health, you're going to get more from that person, and it's going to result in them having a positive experience.
Callum dreams of moving his family closer to where he's based in Devon.
It's the memories, really, because I am away during the week, family live up north. We have to do things special because I don't get to have the normal times at home. So yeah, it can be hard. Here you go, there's yours.
Contrast to that, it was a bit different for me. I kind of enjoyed the going away aspect, and then coming back in for, sometimes for a weekend or for a week, or every now and then when I mess things up back home, I'd shoot back off the base. It does depend on the individual. Everyone's different.
And this is why I'm fighting to get them down as quickly as possible, really, because the commute back up north, sometimes it can be 8 hours on the motorway.
Yeah, so I was being based up in Scotland and lived in London, so I was doing probably a good few hours driving on a Friday night, and then driving back up then very late on Sunday night, returning back to base then at the early hours of the morning, getting ready then to turn to, and just being absolutely knackered then all day Monday. But for me it was worth it. I had a great time. I didn't do that every weekend, but most weekends I did it. I think it was pretty good fun.
North Devon, a potential army commando is training hard.
With Fizz, I love that he can teach your body to do anything with the right training.
Currently an army chef, Donna wants to get her green beret and be one of the very few women to become a commando. There are currently only 2 female commandos in a force of over 4,500 commandos.
Where we shine is when we go away on tour and exercises, because that's when the guys really need the best food and just keep morale up.
Donna, she's training hard. That's what I like to see. Don't care how fit people are, how strong people are. All I want to see is, all I like to see is people training hard and giving it a good shot. That's just something I admire about people. So she's putting the work in the gym. And those facilities there, I don't know if there was army facilities, but they're brilliant. Fair play. Wish we had something like that when I was in.
We can literally deploy anywhere in the world and make sure everyone's got good scran.
Donna joined the military 5 years ago after training as a chef and working in a Michelin-starred restaurant.
So pretty much there.
The best thing about being a chef is that smile on people's faces. Every week I'll bake something and I'll take it around because I think midweek is the worst time of the week for people. Just being able to give them a bit of morale, we can actually make a difference.
He does not like banana.
I'm still quite new to the unit. I'm from a completely different part of the army. So joining the commando unit I found is quite intimidating. I was really nervous coming because it's such a male-dominated unit.
Donna's preparing for the All-Arms Commando course. If she passes, she'll get her green lid and become an army commando.
There's not that many women with green berets at the minute. There's definitely a place for us. We just offer different skills. And I think it's time.
Currently got 2 serving female commandos, but I want more. We want as much diversity from as wide a pool of talent as we can possibly get in this brigade.
I get where they're coming from when they're saying they're seeking diversity, because you get people from different backgrounds, different skills, they bring different things to the table. But as long as they're not giving, they're not dampening things down to try and specifically take people from diverse backgrounds, it's not being watered down, it's not being made difficult, and it's not being made more easier. For specific people, because there's some kind of quota or whatever. And you do hear about this in some places where they say, look, we got all these people applying for this job. I'm not saying military specific. I've seen it in other jobs as well. And they've gone, oh no, we want somebody from this background. So we're not even going to look at all of these CVs for people over here who don't meet that criteria. And I don't think that's very fair. I think jobs should always be given to people based on a merit, based on how that person's skills are and how good that person is. With regards to this here, I think Donna is this woman's name. She's training hard, and women do train hard, and women do often train harder than men. But that doesn't actually mean they're going to be fitter than a man, but because men do have a natural ability generally to be fitter and stronger. I can't take anything away from women. I've seen some women just dig out blind, more so than guys who are fitter than them. So, I'm not anti-women at all in any way. She seems keen, she seems committed to do it. She's allowed to join it. They've changed it now so that commandos, females can join commandos now. Females can join the Marines. Good luck to her. Best wishes to her, and I hope that she's able to succeed. She's putting her work in.
Just get this exercise in. So some days it was breaking it right down into the next hour. You will feel like, because I felt like, there's a spotlight on you.
Yeah.
And there actually isn't.
Yeah.
You just think there is, because everyone is struggling in some way. I never really thought about passing. And it's that shared hardship from the course means that when you bump into people in and around camp, we have a connection.
You got a thing,
Yeah. And that's really important. And what makes the brigade really special is that you're a woman. Everyone was watching because you deserve
what a guy can do, why don't I earn my spot?
Now I'm in the lifestyle of being a Royal Marine. It's a brilliant career. I thoroughly enjoy it. At the end of the day, it's still a job. Yeah, socks with rocks. Won't be taking them with me. So like any job you want to promote, you want to build up with COVID.
Right guys, gotta admit, I can't watch any more of that. I found that really boring. Not the best series I've ever seen. To me, I just want to see people getting thrashed. I want to see people getting beasted. I don't really care about what people are doing at home. I don't really care about that. I mean, it was a bit too wishy-washy that. I literally cannot watch any more of it. Let me know in the comments below if you were able to watch more of that than I could. I've skipped and skipped and skipped and skipped to try and find something interesting. I've got about two-thirds of the way through, and I'm just gonna have to call it a day there. Yeah, we're just following a couple of people living their lives. I'm not into reality programs at all. I just want to see about the Marines. I don't really care what people are doing behind closed doors. That's a private business. I don't care about that. You know, if you enjoy watching Big Brother, all that sort of stuff, and you know, these reality TV shows and Married at First Sight and all, you know, you probably might enjoy this, but no, not for me. My career as a reactor is officially over. Take care, goodbye.